The lesson was going on. Not completed. Online है क्या? नक्षत्र. That in the class, how many are there? 3. 4 are there. So today they are not going to come. Who's called? That girl is not going to come. Yesterday class was there, no? Which subject? So everyone came. How many were there? 3, 4. Hello, madam. Nakshatra. Okay. We'll start. We are not going to wait. Political science only. How much we have studied? Nakshatra, am I audible to you?
Yes.
You just on your video.
It is on.
Okay.
Only one boy is there, no, ma'am?
One boy is there and Nakshatra online.
Okay.
Anyhow, I am starting, madam. I am not waiting for.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Hey. Nakshatra audible now? Am I? Nakshatra.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Very early you came. Okay, you just एक ही है. But attendance sheet I forget to take. Okay. Yes. That only I am asking. That is how much I have taught. Now, merits of democracy I taught or not? Merits I have completed. Yes. Demerits also completed. So only that one we have to see is broader meaning of democracy, because merits first we have done. Merits written, no? Then demerits also written. Now, broader meaning of democracy. See, why we need to define democracy? So, we need to define democracy to get get an idea about what actually happen in democracy, or how democracy is different from any other form. That is why we want to study about democracy. The same thing only NCERT mein hai. The difference is the no idea about that, whether they are going to come or not. They are not going on. Why? Test is going on or something. Daksha? Acha. See, broader meaning of democracy. See, present day, if you are seeing any country, if you are taking large number of people, big population, huge population is there. So whether it is practical to have that all the conditions applicable for democracy or not, that is one challenge. Another challenge is that if they are having a representative form of government, then also the citizens of the country have no time to participate. Who is having, sometimes, let us take the example, you got a huge electricity bill. You know very well that you haven't used. See, previous month it came 2,000 and this month you got 4,000. So what you want to do is that you feel to go and complain to the electricity office or to check. But what is the problem? You don't have the time. Even though you are knowing that you got a huge bill, which is double than the previous bill. But modern day, the people have no time to approach. So that is one problem. And another thing is that if they are having time also, imagine they got a holiday. But then also they don't want to come out. कि आज ही एक छुट्टी मिला तो आज घर में बैठ के आराम करेगा. So this attitude did not allow them to participate. Are you getting the point? So large number of people, one point. Second is that people are not having the time. Some cases, if they are having time also, they don't have any interest. So because of that, we should have to think about what is the practical condition. Nakshatra, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the practical condition? And why we have to prefer, okay, democracy has spread to large number of countries. Many countries it is spread. But why we should follow this system in the long run or not. That is why we have to see the broader meaning of democracy. But modern day people lost their all interest also. Earlier time and at present day, if you are seeing, the number of people who are going actually to vote is reducing. And if they are going also, the older generation and the younger generation, the first timer, 18 years, those who complete and they got the right to vote. And older generation who continuously, okay, hamara vote to valuable hai kar. So this kind of attitude gives some kind of changes in the modern democratic setup. Are you getting? So whatever way we think, whether it is advantages or disadvantages, democracy is still having a place in the world politics, because when we compare it with any other forms, this is best system. Earlier we have learned better system, but when we take a dictatorship, a kingship, or any other form, or military rule, they also have some advantages, but the advantages of a democratic system is considered as the best form. This is what the broader form. Okay. Our focus here is with some core institutional features of democracy as a form of government. So it's not much important. Clear? I think that's all about. The little part. Pardon? You can read that broader meaning, that is 5 new chapter. If any doubt is there, that 5 minutes you take to go through. That is next lesson is constitutional design. No? Yeah. So I'll start with that lesson. That's all, or I have to start with the history or something. Okay. Second lesson. Is it okay? So then you bring that history also. So if no book is there, we cannot go through. For me, okay, but you don't have. So 5 minutes time, you just go through fast. Volume only, that is not much. That it is a comparative study. See, you have to write this one. Why do we value democracy? Page number 7. Homework. That you have to write. Democracy as an ideal. Page number 6, last part. Okay. Then page number 13. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Okay. 8, 9 and 10. These are important ones. Because it homework. Then you have to learn direct and indirect democracy. That is page number 12. So after writing, after learning, if you are writing, to check how much you can remember. So many to give, but okay. Then this one, long answer type question, page number 14. With reference to the democracy, explain in brief 5 features of democracy. I have given also, I have taught also. Okay. Next, elected representatives, free and fair election. Same thing. That only you write. Here something else. Mention in brief the features of democracy. Then, fourth question, what are the different arguments against democracy? Okay. That itself is so much you have to study also. Yes. Shall we move that or time is required to read? Yes. That is what good. Next is constitutional design. Say it's about preparing a constitution. What is the design? Say when you are asked to make a project, because this is the time of making projects that have mark for you. So when the teacher is giving the topic, immediately you will not start making. You will have a design in your mind. My project should be like this. So which all things to be included, how you are going to decorate it, how you are going to present it. These all are the ideas in your mind. Now, once you start the work, you are making that design into practical. The same way in India also, when the constitution was made, there were so many processes. Here, 2 countries are given to compare with. The first country is South Africa. Have you heard about South Africa? South Africa, see, when you are hearing, it is not that southern part means North and South Africa like that, no. South Africa is the part which is in the lowest, means that is southern tip of Africa. That is the name of the country, southern tip of Africa. That is the name. Okay. In South Africa, there was a practice called apartheid. Apartheid. Have you heard about apartheid? See, it is EID. Always I am writing IED. So, apartheid is the practice of racial segregation. That is based on the color of the people are separated. There were 3 groups of people. One is white minority and black majority. and the colored people. So colored is not that is blue color, yellow color, or orange color. No. Colored people are the people from Asian continent who migrated there. Understood? Those people are called colored. So this white people, they came from Europe for trade purpose and slowly they settled over there. So when they settled, they are having a feature that is superiority complex. They felt that they were whites, they are born to rule. Okay, so they started ruling. So then they were less in number, but they started ruling. So then they made certain rules which prevent other people from mingling with the others. What happened to the untouchables in India? The same way here the black majority had to experience. That is, they were not allowed to enter in the churches. They were not allowed to use the trains. They were not allowed to use the public facilities. They were not allowed to enter in the cinema show, theaters and all. So all kind of restrictions they had to experience. Okay. So there was a story which people means for easy understanding how these people have been different in the colors. See, the god was preparing dosha. Okay. That is the common word I can use for you to understand. So God prepared that to become that overcooked. So what color it will come? Black. So overcooked the second time. The first time, what happened? Half cooked only taken. So half cooked means this one also not, up part also not cooked properly, down part also not cooked properly. So they were the fairest people, not cooked properly. So after completing, God realized that it is not cooked properly. Then he cooked another one, okay, more time he cooked. So it became overcooked and they were the black people. So one is undercooked, second is overcooked. Now he want a medium, that is proper cooking. So that way he made in a proper ratio that one. That is what the Asian people. Asian people, neither too white nor too black. So it is in the middle. So that is what the proper ratio. So it's the story which you can use to understand that the color of the. Okay. So this way they used that what was that so much restrictions they have experienced. And in Africa, they started that movement for, or there was a movement, there was a fight to get freedom or against apartheid. The leader of that movement was Nelson Mandela. Okay. Nelson Mandela was the leader. But when he organized the party called African National Congress and protest against that inhuman treatment the South African people experienced, he was tried for treason. Treason is that one who commits crime against the nation. Treason is the crime against the nation, and he was imprisoned. And after 27 years, 28 years, he was released. Okay, so he was in prison. That is, he was put in prison in 1964, and after 28 years, he was released because of so many movements. So here we are not going to study about the movements he undertook, but little conditions they have, they had to experience under the white minority. So that is what they were separated, segregated, and they were not given any type of freedom and all. So all those things they have experienced. Now, why we are studying about it? After his release in 1992, 28 years, 92, correct, no? 1992, this South Africa became a free country. South Africa had got its own government, its own flag. It made a constitution for themselves. That means that country's people made a constitution. So what was the procedure or how they prepared that constitution? That is what more important. So constitution design when a country is making, or constitution when they are making, that is important. Okay, let's see that how when they got independent. If you want this one, what is apartheid, you just write. What was the condition of this one? Apartheid is, when you are writing apartheid, you write, I'll tell you. Apartheid is a policy of racial segregation racial, RACIAL, racial segregation based on color, that is what the white minority ill-treated, black majority. Nakshatra, are you able to write?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And, Nelson Mandela formed African National Congress. African National Congress to fight against African National Congress to fight against the injustice Congress to fight against the injustice. But he was tried for TRIED, tried for treason and imprisoned imprisoned in 1964. Okay. So we have seen that he started the movement for freeing South Africa from the hands of white. But he had to face so many problems. Now our topic is not Nelson Mandela. Our topic is not apartheid also. Our topic is constitution. So what is constitution? You write, constitution is a set of constitution is a set of set of basic rules according to which the country is governed. Country is governed. Clear? So basic rules are written in the constitution. Now, why we need a constitution? You write, why do we need a constitution? Do we need why do we need a constitution? Constitution is the supreme law, L-A-W, law, that determines the relationship among the people living in a territory and the relationship between the people and the government. Now 1, 2, 3, it's points. What does no, the constitution ka? I'm going to tell. First point, it generates constitution. Okay, it generates a degree of trust a degree of trust, T-R-U-S-T, trust, and cooperation that is necessary for different kinds of people to live together. Next, it specifies how the government, sorry, how the government will be constituted. Who will have the power to take which decisions? Okay, third point. It lays down. It lays down, L-A-Y-S, lays down limits on limits, L-I-M-I-T-S, limits, limits on the powers of government and it tells us what the rights of the citizens are. What the rights of the citizens are. The rights of the citizens are. Citizens. Fourth, it expresses the aspirations of the people about creating a good society. It expresses. Okay. Have we completed? So first, what is constitution? Why do we need? Okay. So what are the things it does? We know that there should be a type of understanding, the relationship among the people, then between the people and the government. So that way a set of rule is made. You just imagine if there is no rule, how people will behave. See, we behave as and how we feel. So there is a set of rule required to organize everything. So when there is no rule in your school, imagine you are not have the any time you can go, any place you can sit, anything you can do. Then can you call it a school? we can call it a marketplace. That is, according to our life, we can go to market, we can purchase anything which we like, we can do as and how we like the things. So, constitution is organizing everything. Set of rule is made, and this set of rule make us some kind of relationship, that is the people, among the people, and between the people and the government. Now, that set of rule generates a degree of trust. So, we feel that our government is doing for our good. Whatever rules are made by the government, we are following, whether we like it or not. When that 500 rupee and 1000 rupee are banned, we obeyed. We have to, because that is the, we don't have any option. So that is what, there is a kind of trust. There is a kind of cooperation, there is a kind of coordination. That is what the Constitution is doing. Now, secondly, it is specifying how a government should be formed. Who should do what type of work? Understood? We know that in our country, executive is there, legislature is there, judiciary is there. So, lawmaking is done by the parliament, legislature. Executive is implementing, and the judiciary is punishing those who violate. So, what is the jurisdiction of each unit? That is clearly mentioned. So, that is the work of Constitution. Got it? Now, thirdly, it lays down limits on the powers of the government and tells us what the rights of the citizens are. We know that we are having fundamental rights. Can we tell anything? It's my right. What are written down in the Constitution only we can claim as rights. Only certain things have protection. Everything have no protection. So that is what rights we enjoy is also mentioned in the Constitution. Now, fourthly, it expresses the aspirations of the people about creating a good society. Means we are obeying the rules. We are practicing what is told us to do. So, for a good society, what are the requirements? Secondly, we vote to the government. We participate in that act. So, this way expresses the aspirations of the. So, that is what happened in a constitution. So, we need, if there is no rule, so in your school, another example I am going to tell. Mostly that PT in charge or PT teacher is looking after that latecomers or what type of punishment. All these things are looked after by the PT teacher. Isn't it? Most of the schools are having like that. So that is given to that particular department. Now, when you supervisors every time he or she cannot, no? Okay. But most of the school, because that is given to that PT teacher, because any type of indiscipline from the side of a student is looked after by, because they never get a class teachership or like that. So every area they can see. Supervisors have many more work. That is giving the timetable, preparing the timetable, arranging that if a teacher is absent, that one. So all those works are also there for supervisors. In some cases they may be doing, but most of the cases PT teacher is in charge of that, those who are violating. The same way, judiciary is looking after that violation. So, what is that? Orderly it is written. Some PT teachers are waiting at the gate, and from there onwards seeing that if anybody is laundering around, loitering. So these all things are seen by that PT teacher. So that is what the orderly way. It is not possible for principal to come and see each and everything. So the work is assigned. The same way, Constitution also assigned the works to different departments. Okay. So this orderly work cannot be made in a day. It requires everything in order, everything have to be grouped, and how it will be practical, it has to be discussed. So it will take a long time to make. How the adjustments to be there. So that is why Constitution is very important. Now let's go back to South Africa. South Africa, they become independent on 26th April 1994. That means finally the midnight of 26th April 1994, a new national flag of the Republic of South Africa was unfurled. So their independence came on 26th April 1994. Yes, which Independence Day of that one, no? South Africa. See, we have studied 28 years. 1992, he was released. Now, after release, they had to make a constitution. Then only it can be independent. No. So that 2 years for preparing that constitution. Then on 26th April 1994, it became an independent. So when South Africa became an independent country, 26th April 1994. So 1 mark question this type can come. Now, when this new country was created, they faced a lot of problems. What type of government they should have, then how they can solve all the problems. Because South Africa at that time, majority of the people were blacks. They were illiterate people. They don't know how to govern themselves. Because from 1910 onwards, they were ruled by the whites. So very difficult condition they were having. So that is why when they wanted to frame or draft the constitution, they sat together. That means whites were there, blacks were there. So all of them sit together and blacks were ready to accept that whites, because they wanted to learn from them. They wanted to include the whites in the government. So like that, a very careful planned administration they have made, a constitution they have made. So it is very difficult to accept those people who oppressed them for a long time. When India made our constitution, we throw them out. You go, you don't be the part of our government. Did we include them? British people? They were all thrown out. Then you go. That means we will rule by ourselves. That is why this Constitution of South Africa is termed as that. What is that? One term is used for this one. See, it is a binding glue of the rainbow nation. Binding glue for the rainbow nation. So means they glued up. That is the differences. We are not separate people. That open-mindedness was very much essential. What is that? Nelson Mandela and so many such people are having the idea, but they don't want the people who were staying there for centuries in one day. Okay, you all go. So they had a big mind to accept them. They were the oppressors. And here, South Africans were the oppressed people. So oppressors and the oppressed people sat together. So that was the beauty. Everyone cannot accept. So one person bet you that is black and blue, that much beaten. Okay, you got that beating. So you will easily make a friendship with that person. Is it possible for you? See, one person bet her. इसको बहुत बुरी तरह से मारा. So, is it possible to be a close friend with that person? You cannot imagine also. You cannot look at that person's side because that person hurt your feeling. This way, for century, this whites oppressed the blacks, but they forgave them. That is why it is called the beauty of that. See, here it is written. After the emergence of the new democratic South Africa, black leaders appealed to fellow blacks to forgive the whites for the atrocities they had committed while in power. So the leaders like Nelson Mandela and others told the other people, please forgive them. Understood? And they said, let us build a new South Africa based on equality of all races and men and women on democratic values. We are going to make a new South Africa where equality is there. And social justice, human rights, all these things should be there in our new South Africa. The party that ruled through oppression and brutal killings, and the party that led the freedom struggle, sat together to draw up a common constitution. Got it? After 2 years of discussion and debate, they came out with one of the finest constitution in the world. That is, world have never had such finest constitution. This constitution gave to its citizens the most extensive rights available in any country. Together, they decided that in the search for a solution to the problems, nobody should be excluded. Then, no one should be treated as a dumb. Dumb, you understood? They agreed that everybody should become part of the solution. The whites also should be part of the solution. Blacks also should be the part. Even the others who were interested to be the part, they also. Whatever they might have done or represented in the past. Now, the preamble to the South African Constitution sums up this spirit. What is preamble? Preamble is the introduction.
Introduction to the Constitution.
Okay. Introduction to the Constitution. It is not the part of the Constitution, but it is the introduction. It includes all the aspects which are there in the Constitution. Okay. The same way, South African preamble states that all those things which had to be included. That is what you can find in your textbook. Page number 28. No, after going home, you just see that page number 28. First, the Constitution of America is given, United States of America preamble. Below that, preamble of South Africa is given. And the next page, preamble of India is. So, in that preamble, these all things are included. Got it? Okay. Understanding, no? You are giving the feedback or not? Yutika. Any problem in my this thing? I want to know, no, if any correction is required or if anything is, nothing is there. Thank you.